Samsung, proud sponsor of TechBusters.
Michael Jordaan has left the exciting, pressurized world of banking to work in the exciting, pressurized world of social networks. And we can exclusively reveal in his first ever interview after his job as the CEO of FNB that Michael Jordaan is the new chairman of Mxit, one of South Africa's greatest software inventions. How does it feel?
Well, it's a non-executive job, so that's already very cool, you know,
Yes.
after having worked very hard as an executive. But it's exciting, Toby. This is a chance to be involved in a South African business that in one way is a startup again. It's rejuvenating itself. It's got a big user base, about just below 7 million customers. And the really cool thing, and this is different from banking, they are so engaged that they spend more an hour of their day actively engaging on Mxit.
And I suppose, unlike banking, these are people who really love the service provider.
Okay, now you don't want me to run down banking, do you, Toby? But clearly there must be something about the product, the fact that it's free.
Yes.
Also the fact that the data usage is very, very low and therefore very affordable. And the fact that it's a way to meet other people and to chat with them. So it's not just about messaging, it really is a chat service. And I think that's sometimes misunderstood about Mxit.
Well, there's another misunderstanding perhaps we should address. Lots of people, you know, in the advertising or media space look down at the Android or iPhone device and go, Mxit's over, you know, I can't get it. But I disagree. The vast majority of users are still using feature phones, will still use feature phones. And people who shift from feature phones to smartphones are going to want the app so that they can carry on communicating with the people they're used to.
Toby, I agree with you completely. I think most people like us now use smartphones. So most of the decision makers and most of the techies who develop for phones are on smartphones. But that means you're ignoring a whole user base out there. Even in Africa, still the amount of feature phones is growing. Now, the one thing that Mxit has realized, and something I'm excited about, is that you can't just limit yourself to feature phones only.
Yes.
It is important to grow with your user base, and as they move to smartphones, also to have those applications for smartphones. But 80 to 90% of feature phones will still form a big part of the business of Mxit for quite a number of years to come.
So it's not just messaging, is it?
It's actually all about chat. There's a very big difference between an instant message that I sent you, which is very functional and you can maybe answer it at a later stage, towards a conversation or a chat that you and I are having. And this is the core of what Mxit is and wants to become, is a social network where on an instant basis you immerse yourself in the chat experience, which is a very emotive experience.
So once upon a time, Mxit was trying to look at payment methodologies, but you've refocused that, haven't you, onto the core messaging functionality?
It's one of the cool things that's happened at Mxit is they've gone through an intensive strategic relook at what the business really is, and they focused it on chat. It's about instant social immersion. So it's not about payments and trying to do lots of other things. It's to give users that very emotive experience, which is chatting with each other and spending more than an hour a day on doing so. Of course, in the longer term, it will be important for those users to do other things if they want to buy something. But that's a pure payment facilitation role, which will involve all the banks in South Africa.
Let's talk just a moment. I mean, you're part of the new leadership, but Francois Swart comes highly recommended. He's been in the role for the last year. He's been at the company for the last 2 years, and everybody who's met him is quite impressed by him. Just tell us a little bit about your impressions of someone who sounds like a rugby player.
Well, of course, that was one of the attractions for me, is working with Francois. He's a great guy, incredibly hard worker, humble guy, feet on the ground, and he enjoys the trust of the 100 or so people that work here at Mxit. For me, it's a non-executive role, and I see the role of the chairman as being involved in strategy, being a soundboard, but really being there to set up the CEO for success, and that's the role that I want to play with Francois, and I'm delighted at being able to partner with him.
I mean, it's a massive vote of confidence, Michael. You are a highly respected businessman, both in South Africa and globally. Not many people get mentioned by the CEO of Apple in their results announcement. It's an enormous endorsement of Mxit, and I can editorialize and say, I think it says something about the future of Mxit that a man of your business caliber and reputation is willing to come on board and help turn it into something else, because I really believe it is one of the great South African inventions. And I use the word invention as opposed to innovation because it was a brand new way of doing things. And what we see now perhaps is innovation, taking something and making it better, which of course is what you did so successfully with Bleep Bank.
Well, thank you, Toby. It's very kind of you to give me that mention. What excites me is the fact that this is a business focused on the youth. We all use these cliches like saying the youth is the future, but this is really a community of kids who love talking to each other. And while right now the focus is on South Africa, I see this business as huge potential across the rest of the continent and also into the Indian subcontinent, where feature phones will still be a reality for some time. And that is my excitement. Of course, there's risk in any type of venture, but I like what these guys are doing strategically. I've been privy to some of the launches that are coming up in the next few months. I think it's an exciting place to be.
Great. Well, Stellenbosch, it turns out, is the most exciting place to be in South Africa at the moment. Some of the cleverest software innovations are coming out of this little dorpie that was once known for its superb wine. That's all from Techbusters. You will find me in the Bartony Wine Bar trying to ply the new chairman for information about said launch.